I'm watching this little old girl. She doing a live. I think this is probably only the second, maybe third live I've ever been to. And I guess what made me go was because every now and then, like some, I just wanted to see if she was gonna fall for the okie doke because this is one of the chicks that I ran across her when she was just creating her channel or brand. So I was curious what this live was going to be about because I didn't know. I mean, I don't know her to do lives, but then I wouldn't know because I don't follow her. I just saw her several years ago, and I was like, oh well, she's going to be big because I knew she because I know how bandwagons work and people who build their audience and the certain types of branding, and I knew that this was a bandwagon magnet. So I was like, oh, she's gonna do real well, right? So she had, I think she started out with her sisters, maybe it was three of them, and there was natural hair or whatever, and also doing branding and stuff. So I saw she did a live today. Now this is a few days after. This is early April, and the thing that made me check it out was because one of y'all favorite YouTubers just faked her death. Just faked her death. I was howling. That was so hilarious. Now, I knew she was a sociopath. By the way, some people build their audience by way of beef with other popular internet people. And it was this one girl, oh, she was crying. She was distressed. I mean, it was real. The crying was real, rather. And her mother even came over and consoled her during the video, consoled her and consoled all of her people that was watching her. She was like, you know, this girl shouldn't have did this to y'all, and y'all just gotta let go. Basically, let go and let go. The whole Christian response, let go and let God and pray for her and all this stuff. And the girl that was doing the video, she was crying and stuff, but all the while she was crying. This is how psychopaths thrive in this area. The whole time she was crying, she was like, something is wrong with her, y'all. I don't know what's wrong with to do people like this. I was really worried about her. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't go to work. This bitch missed work mourning the death of this hoe that faked her death for follows. The sad part is, I'm gonna tell y'all what my comment was under the crying girls videos, cause I know ain't nobody here for no real truth teller. It's people out here, you know. My flag goes up when someone claims to be a truth teller. So I'm like, bitch, you made that shit up, you know. And it's one person that said there's one person who claims to be an indigo, but they don't even go around claiming it. They just can relate to certain things that I say on social media, and I'm like, this bitch probably might really for real be an indigo, and I think she may be. I think I done ran into another indigo across these lanes. I could be wrong though, but if she ain't an indigo, she's special either way. Yeah. So anyway, y'all so stupid. I'm so mad at y'all procreators. I'm so mad at them. I'm mad. So anyway, so I saw that she was doing a live, and you know, YouTube had stopped it where you can't do a live with less than. They're really putting the restrictions on motherfuckers like me that nobody listens to. Like, ain't nobody listening to you anyway, so we gonna make sure that they don't start. How about that? So, oh my God, she trying to give intellectual explanations of people. You know, people start talking about. Well, I drop it a lot, but other people who don't really know about it, who might learn a couple of things, they start dropping terms like childhood trauma and tough love and empath, sociopath, narcissist, you know, all this. They start dropping those terms like regularly throughout their rants. This makes me wonder what rumors went on about her, cause some of them must be true. Not all of them. Clearly not all of them are true, but I wonder what rumors have been going on around her because I'm concerned that some of them are true, but not extremely concerned because she seemed to be growing up at her own pace. And everybody has their own pace. But so anyway, she did a live, and I had no idea there was any drama. But to be fair, because I'm judgmental, morally speaking, because you should be, that I suspected that it was some bullshit because the way she was building her audience, as typical millennial mindsets do, aka branding, it was more mature than most, but it was still come one, come all. She was welcoming everybody and everything in the name of building an audience. Well, bitch, the cost of building an audience at all costs is very often at all costs. The building an audience of numbers She keeps saying, talking about telling her truth for a million times. Telling my truth, I'm telling my truth, I'm telling y'all my truth. If you and people get mad when you set boundaries, all that is an implication that you weren't telling your truth before, boo-boo. And that you didn't set boundaries before. But you to suddenly realize that when you set boundaries, people get offended because whatever, you protecting yourself. That means that you haven't been protecting yourself this whole time. That's like, she just said Xfinity is in on it. And that shit's real. Yeah, all her stuff getting hacked into. Yeah, she feel like she being silenced because all her devices are being controlled. Yeah, so apparently she's also been through a divorce since in the last 2 years, and also has joint custody with her baby. She had a baby in that time. Apparently, she done built a whole family behind that bullshit. She was that marketing and branding shit, and it's already gone to shit. She's been divorced from that guy. Sounds like, and now has joint custody of her kids. Partially sounds like partially because somebody tried to have her kid taken from her. So anyway, I was saying to her in the live, because it wasn't that many people there. So I started talking, because I always thought she was generally more mature than most of the thirsty millennials that I saw on YouTube. So I was asking her, I was like, have you ever wondered why, when I wasn't going to say anything because I presume, accurately I'm sure, that she's like most humans, and I'm tough love indigo, so my tough love is not going to be received as love. It's, haters get dismissed as whatever, looked at as argumentative or whatever. So when she mentioned that she was an empath, a lot of people like to claim being an empath. Who wants to claim being a sociopath? Nobody. So she claimed being an empath. So I was like, okay, well maybe I can use this claim to maybe help her on her journey to waking up, because she realized that she was asleep. But at the same time, she doesn't embrace that, because if I present that to her, she will deny that, and she's going to say, oh no, it's not that. Because that's what humans do. Because they don't really genuinely acknowledge and embrace their sleep. And only then can you really wake up, right? But at least there's an effort when she can say, oh, well, this happened, and now I got a new approach to this bullshit. So it's a process. There are levels. So she apparently is being bullied, whether it's by the bigger entities or someone who's bullying her via internet or whatever. She says she knows who it is, but I'm not sure if she knows who it is. She might know who it is, actually, because somebody came on there while I was talking to her. Because I was like, have you looked into your empathy? I was like, have you asked her? She started talking about all these people that have been attacking her, and people who get access to her accounts and whatever. I was trying to find a way to say, maybe you should check how you choose your friends. You know what I mean? So, because she's in the name of branding and marketing and building your audience, you accept everybody, come one and all, comment, rate, subscribe. But then over a course of you successfully building that audience, you then are in a position where you're saying, these people are bullying me. Only I can take care of me when I'm going through it. There's nobody there. All these thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, but when I'm going through it, there's no one there for me, when it's whatever. But then when you bring to the obvious to their attention, you're like, well, when you build an audience of a bunch of fuck shit, then a lot of those people are gonna be on some bullshit, and then they're like, no. Then they start talking, and as opposed to interacting. Then they go back to, I trusted these people. These are people you trust and you think you can count on and depend on, and then they'll be the main ones behind your back, blah, 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 blah. That just speaks to what the point I was just attempting to make to you gently. Now, if I make the point like it should be made for you to hear it in a tough love way, then it'll be perceived as antagonistic, which is crazy because it's being perceived as antagonistic in gentle mode. So she back on empaths again. She's like, people think empaths are make-believe, like we don't, exist or whatever. No, that's not it, boo-boo. Because there are levels. There's just levels. So anyway, so I tried to be gentle. She just did some research on empathy, and she thinks she's one of them, and she's not. In fact, she needs to deal with the sociopath in herself. You're not an empath, boo-boo. You're a sociopath. And even for some people who are empaths or light-level empaths, though, there are some people who are also sociopaths. They may be more sociopaths than empath. And the empathy helps them achieve their mission as a sociopath. I'm not saying that's her. I'm just saying if you're gonna do the research, if you're gonna do the due diligence, do it. Do it. So she was talking about people bullying or how people just hate you for no reason because you're doing good and they not or whatever. Every time somebody says that, my flag goes up. But she's ultimately a good. Just because I'm saying she's a sociopath, don't mean she's not a good person. I do believe, like I said, she's better than most people who came out here thirsting for a huge ass audience and got it. So be careful what you ask for, but be careful what you thirst for. That should be the warning. Be careful what you thirst for, because you can ask for something all you want, but if you go through the steps within your thirst to get it, and then you get it as a result of said thirst, you negotiate it. There's a price tag on it. It's just not monetary. She's still talking about owning your truth, living your truth, speaking your truth. She swears she's just being herself. She's being who she is. And in some instances, she is. And she is acknowledging that she was a different person, quote unquote, in the past. The thing is, y'all, the past is only a few years ago. So it's not impossible. But chances are, bitch, that if everything went as smoothly as you anticipated, because you didn't expect to take the good with the bad, apparently, because this is a package deal with the type of popularity you were thirsting for, you and your sister. So anyway, she pretty much rejected everything I had to say. Let me see if I can. Do I have a knot on my head? So I said, it tickles me how folks thirst for popularity, and building any old kind of audience actually attracts any old kind of people. But that's all that's really important at the time. So quality is not an issue for those thirsting for building that audience. And when an adult attempts to say anything, truth tellers are dismissed as haters. So grown people just kick back and watch the train wreck when chickens come to roost, as misguided girls continue to welcome every damn body in the name of what's known as, quote, branding for the millennial mindset. But I realize this is not the audience to receive what I'm saying, so there's also that. And so there's another person saying, it's a shame, greed brings out the worst in people. I'm gonna bring her up again, because she felt like she needed to put my name in her mouth. That was a really bad move, because those of you who know me know that was a bad move. She don't know any better, but she gonna learn. She ain't gonna know why, but she gonna learn. So she started talking about how some of y'all can't relate, whatever. And I knew that was about me. So I said, I'm sure most girls in this era can relate. I mean, and I was saying that to say, that just because I can't relate doesn't mean I know that almost everybody else can relate. Girls and adult age females alike can relate. It's just me. It is just me. I acknowledge that. I'm gonna call her Goldilocks. She said, that's ridiculous. Wow. You gotta watch this. This bitch, that might be her. So I said, truth tellers I know tend to make sure these kinds of boundaries are set from the get-go. So then she started talking about setting boundaries. And so I said, the truth tellers I know tend to make sure these kinds of boundaries are set from the get-go. Because that's when she was saying people get offended when you set boundaries and they think whatever. And I said, I suck at tolerating sociopaths. So even at the cost of patronage, I make sure people around me are around because they genuinely dig me. But that's just me. I'm an odd bird. I am. And so Goldilocks randomly said, girl, finish doing your hair. That section gonna get dried out, LOL. Because I wasn't paying her any attention at the time. Only later did I start paying her attention. So that's what she started talking about. You know, these are people that you thought you could trust and blah, 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 and blah. So I said, you ever wonder why you thought you could trust certain types of people? And because I was trying to get her to think, you allowed these people, whether you can trust them or not, but you're talking about untrustworthy people. So I was trying to get her to, you saying you're setting boundaries now. Why are you setting boundaries? Then also gauge the types of people you allow in your life. And quit just pulling them in to collect, be an audience collector. So I tried to find a graceful way to say that because they get young people. And so I said, you ever wonder why you thought, I capitalized, you thought you could trust certain types of people? Or are you someone who subscribes to not judging and therefore leave your self ass out to folks? And so she said, oh no, this is not about judging or whatever. I didn't say nothing. Every time I said something, after a few times I gave up. Because every time I said something, she took what she wanted to out of what I said. Because that's what people do. You know, when they're not ready to receive tough love. When they're not ready to go to the next level. So, you got to let them go at their pace. So I said, I realize that most of the people I love are empaths. I don't have that issue. And I don't have the issue of accepting people, sociopaths into my life. So I don't have that issue. But I know the people that I love are empaths, and they do it all the time. So that's the point I was making. So she's like, but are people really like that? You probably think, are people really like that? They really jealous of people that they'll sabotage you and whatever? And I said, the answer is yes. People are like that. But I recognize them. And I was making a point that you apparently don't. Because you're busy with collecting your audience. I didn't say that. I said, but the answer is yes, people are like that, but I recognize them. And I said, so why not adjust the generosity with which you open yourself? Because if you can't as an empath, then you will remain open. She didn't get that either. And then she says, she's like, I'm not following you. I'm not understanding what you're saying. And she's intelligent. So between me and you, now that I'm looking, I think that she did understand what I was saying. But it didn't subscribe to the impression that she wanted to give of herself in this live video. So she had to act like she didn't know what I was talking about. Who doesn't know what this is? Of all the confusing things I said, so why not adjust the generosity with which you open yourself? Because if you can't, as an empath, then you will remain open. Who doesn't understand that? So she said she didn't get it. And so I said, so she was like, well, I'm not following you. And I said, like you said, you expect the best out of them. And I'm thinking, like, as an empath, you expect. And so then I was like, never mind. But when I put never mind, the thing said I'm leaving too many comments. So take a break and then come back. Anyway, I took that break and I said, that's exactly. So then she went on to talk and she was saying exactly what I just said. So I said, that's basically exactly what I said. And I said, generosity in terms of empathy and giving people opportunity to, and I was going to say, get you. I was going to find a way to say that, but she started talking, she started responding. She said, I've given people opportunities. I've let people in and blah, 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 blah. And I said, I know you have. That's my point. That's how and when you open yourself up to them. That's my point. And so she said, but I've set boundaries and blah, 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 blah. And I said, that's new for you, though. Setting boundaries was new for her. She just said these things. So I said, I'm not encouraging empathy for them. I'm making the point that this is what leaves people vulnerable. I had to say people. Sometimes when you're talking to millennial mindset, you have to redirect the accountability elsewhere or put it on yourself because they're not going to accept any accountability for anything that does anything but uplift them. Even if it's being confronted by something that's not very flattering, and admitting that will eventually uplift you, they still can't take that. There's no accountability in this era of humanity. Now I hesitate to call it humanity. That's why it wouldn't hardly come out of my mouth. Because humans are so. No. She said something else that basically doubled down and reiterated my whole last point. So I just put, you're still susceptible, but it's nice to see you potentially growing. Potentially. Because I keep seeing her. Pump my brakes low key and her own, so whatever. And I say, but you choose to set these boundaries now, much later after building an audience of bandwagoners. It's like Becky waiting until her kid is a teen to discipline them. Again, you thought these people loved you. This is a cost of what millennials call branding when popularity is the primary product. At all costs. So one of her followers said, can you please block old girl from the chat? She annoying as hell trying to argue. That's an accurate representative of her audience. So nobody's talking back and forth. But this chick, who had said nothing the whole time, just comes out of nowhere and says, can you please block old girl from the chat? She is annoying as hell trying to argue. This is her audience. So I said, don't worry, I'll be out soon. I realize this is your space, and I realize how this will be received. So when I saw that, I put, oh, okay, your audience about to come for me. Much respect. So I'm out after that. I'm out. Respectfully, to be fair. She said, no, you don't know what I'm talking about. You don't know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody that was, and I don't know what she was specifically talking about. So she apparently has someone in mind that she knows is sabotaging her, is having her stuff hacked, or whatever is going on, that she's feeling attacked and bullied and targeted. She realizes who it is, and she's clarifying for me that I just don't understand the circumstances surrounding her angst right now. And I don't. So, I just said, you're right, I know nothing. Because I really don't. I just know about what I was talking about, generalizing. And she may be having a specific response that she's having to bullying. So then another bitch comes across saying, I'm wondering if her is tough love indigo. So this is a chick that I told you I wasn't paying attention to. But now she's saying, I wonder if her is tough love indigo. And so she put my name out there, wondering if I'm the one that's been hacking or following or whatever I'm doing with her pages or whatever. This is like the third video I ever watched of this girl. And the first two I watched like about 4 years ago. I'm probably more than that. It was years ago. But so this little girl says, I'm wondering if her is tough love indigo. And then she put the little magnifying glass. By then I'm out. Because I said, you're right, I don't know anything. I was like, I see your audience finna come for me. So I'm going to respect your space. When I start saying shit like that, people will tell you I am motherfucking gone. Because even if somebody's doing a back and forth tit for tat with me, when I say I'm finna respect your space, bitch, I'm finna watch you bump your head square into the bricks. I'm finna watch you bump your head square into the bricks. And I would say about 30% of the time, I won't exaggerate, there are some people that are really in the process of growing the fuck up, and they come back to me, and they will come back and tell me, you know, I was kind of abrupt with you, but now I realize you were just, you know what, I hate that it's always because something happened exactly as I said it would happen. You didn't have to experience that to know that, well, I guess you did have to experience that. But the fact that you had to experience that to realize that I was just telling you the truth, it makes me like, I ain't finna be the empath to bend over and be motherfucker behind your fuckery. Behind your ignorance, rather, because they not fuckery people. They good people, you know? But they own this colonized bullshit and don't realize it, and so I don't know what to tell you. You know, because when I try to tell you something, you reject it. You don't have to reject it but once or twice. Twice at the most, you know, if I love you. If I love you enough to come back and say, look, but it ain't happening more than twice. And for people I don't know, once, period. And that's a light once. A light once. Then I'm out. So these other people, like, I'm so sorry. Keep praying for love to come into your heart. Do you know who this is? People trying to find out, get more details. It makes me wonder if they don't. Yes, healing from what you've been through is rising from the ashes. I'm looking at the followers she's attracted, and what products did you use today for the twist? I wish you the best. Matter of fact, let me categorize this video so I'll know why. And I'm out. But somebody like that, if they were to just show up on my channel and be like, you know, well, you know what? I take that back. It depends on how they approach me. Like I said, I know her to be mature than most people in her era, so I would probably be receptive to it. I would probably be more receptive with her, I think. Because she wasn't ever really rude to me. I mean, her rejection wasn't at any point disrespectful or rude. It wasn't even a quick shutdown situation. She was engaging in a adult conversation about something that, to the best of her understanding, which caused her to not really be able to receive an understanding of what was clearly obvious, not even just to me, but it's obvious to an adult person. But she's in the middle of her angst, you know what I mean? She's feeling some kind of way right now, and which understandably, you know, if somebody's taking her through the ringer. But my thing is, these are people that you've given a key to your piece. You give a sociopath the key to your piece, what you think they're gonna do? Even if you're a sociopath too. If a sociopath give another sociopath, because it's like I said, there are levels, there are different kinds. Let me tell you, Mr. blew my mind this weekend with my own realization about me. And I'm going to give this its own video. So I'm not going to keep going on it. Anyway. Yeah, this little girl, she going through it. Because she did that YouTuber that internet popularity shit. She signed up for that shit. I'm not saying don't. I want to be internet popular. Shit. I just want to be internet popular with the proper people. And they don't have to be in any particular status or tax bracket. They just have to be of a certain intellect and genuine moral intellect. That's it. But apparently that's a high price. I wish YouTube would fix it so that people you block can't even see your videos. And the fuck I'm helping? What the fuck am I helping? What I look like helping some other people that got all these followers? Because you didn't get all these followers not working to get all these followers. So you got a mission in mind. And moral balance wasn't at the top of the list. Fuck, I look like giving a fuck about somebody who got exactly what they asked for. I hope everything's going okay with my girl, and I hope she's just busy with life. Speaking of, just busy with life, and that life ain't got her in an arm bar. Well, I knew I was going to regret attending a Millennial Mindset Live. I always regret it. And you know what else I do? I'm so petty. You know what else I do is, if I comment on somebody's page that's, semi-popular, they don't get that many comments or whatever, and they never acknowledge my comment, now this is petty. Because again, when I build my audience, it's not even about them being a part of my audience, but I am privy to people who recognize me as something different, even though they might not even know what or how much, but they're like, oh, this bitch is unique. I'm not even sure if it's good or bad. This bitch is unique. Especially if I know it's one of them indigo comments, and they never acknowledge it at all, don't like it, don't acknowledge it or whatever. They don't even have to respond, I don't think. I'm not that petty, but I'm petty enough to where if they don't say anything, and they done posted other videos, so I know they saw the comment, and they don't even so much as like it, I'll delete the comment and never go back to their page. I'll delete the comment and never go back to their page. What you're not going to have is a page with my comment on it. I'm not going to contribute to your audience interaction, because you don't interact. Now, when I do that to celebrities, that's kind of unfair. I've even commented on celebrity stuff much more regularly, because I already anticipate, well, they don't have time to be, addressing everybody's damn comment, right? And plus, I might have posted some truth about someone that they like, or someone that they have to work with, and they can't be seen acknowledging me. Y'all know how the industry is, But if it's a celebrity that has few enough comments to read all their comments, and I've made several comments on several of their posts, and they never acknowledge it even so much as to like it, I'll go delete all my shit. I'm out. And I've actually had people to come back and be like, where you been? I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, now you know me? Now I exist? Okay. And no, I don't respond to them, because they don't exist to me. Now I'm the celebrity, and I don't know you. Or sometimes they might treat me a certain way. Like, it reminds me of a set I was on. I was a lead in the film. And there was a phase of my life as the character where I was a crackhead before I cleaned myself up. We had firearm security on set. And so this one particular day, we were doing a shooting scene. And so there was firearm security, and there was also local police on deck. And so I'm walking around in wardrobe. And man, they treated me so funky. When I tell you they treated me funky, the uniformed Klansmen treated me funky, right? So they found out later, and I saw when they did it. They found somebody, I guess someone told them that I was the actress in the movie. And so when I was waiting on another scene to finish, and when I had to be in the same area they were in, the main guy that was treating me shitty, he was kind of nudging my elbow and talking to me or whatever. And I was like this. I don't know this peon motherfucker. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I'm sipping on actually it wasn't coffee, it was water, because it was summertime, it was hot as hell. But I was drinking my water, because it was a time where I can't be without my bottle of water. Drinking my water like... Yeah, nigga, now I'm a superstar. And I don't know your bitch ass. Because he was dealing me any kind of... But, to be fair, that means that I was doing my job, right? If I'm in wardrobe and I was in character, and he don't want to deal... And he treats me like a lowlife because I'm a crackhead, then I must have been convincingly a crackhead, right? You might have seen me in the street, but nigga, you don't know me. Save all the talking, nigga, you don't know. You better watch how you handle me, young man. Hey. Sometimes I wonder if Himalayan salt is actually Himalayan pink salt. Because this is pink Himalayan salt. But it has some kind of aftertaste to it. So it makes me wonder if it's pink Himalayan salt, or is it salt that they dyed pink. and told us it was pink Himalayan salt. And it was also super affordable. And pink Himalayan salt is usually more expensive because our government don't give a fuck about us. But you can't count on that either, because I know a whole lot of people pay 2-3 times extra for the organic vegetables at Whole Foods and shit, and that shit ain't organic. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, not sorry.